Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I know it's been like 5,000 million years, so sorry about that. And also sorry for this apology as well, because it really kind of irks me a little bit when I see people that I'm subscribed to disappear for 5,000 years and then come back and like, oh, I'm so sorry, I promise I'm going to be filming and doing regular content and blah blah blah, and then just not doing it, and then here I am doing the exact same thing. So you know what, maybe I am a real YouTuber, maybe. Anyway, welcome to my channel. My name is Berry Dakara, and this video is by special request. So about a year and a half ago, I shared with you guys that I was able to buy a house. I was able to buy my first property. Backstory: I live with my parents, my daughter and I. My daughter now is 5.5, and we live with my parents. The plan was for me to buy a house so that my daughter and I could move. And I wanted to buy my house before I turned 40. That was the plan. However, I think a few weeks or so before I closed on the house, I had a discussion with my mom, with my dad, and we decided that, you know what, it's not necessary for you to move out. Like, we're not rushing you out of the house or anything. Why don't you just use it as a rental property? And I think I shared in a previous video why I decided not to move into the house. So you can watch that video. I think it's going to be somewhere up here, as YouTubers do, somewhere here or here. Anyway, so I did share that. But this video for today is me coming to share with you guys my experience of being a landlord for the past 1 year. It's been about a year or so. Now, I bought the house in October of 2021, and I didn't get a tenant until I believe it was February or March of 2022. The plan had been initially, like when I bought the house and I knew that I was going to have it as rental property, the plan was to get it rented out immediately so that I wouldn't have to be the one paying the mortgage. Let the renter pay me rent, and then the rent covers the mortgage, right? And then maybe I make a little bit of money outside of that. However, I did show the house to a number of people and just nobody was biting. So the idea was floated to me to try Section 8 housing, which, if you don't live in the US, Section 8 is a program where I guess local or federal housing authorities help help lower income people and lower income families with rental assistance. So the government pays the rent for these people, and the rent is subsidized as well. So the idea was floated to me, and I wasn't 100% sure at first because I just wasn't sure about it. But after about 2 months of me paying the mortgage on a pretty low-ish income, I'm like, you know what, I'll take anything at this point. So I put in an application for my house to be rented out through the housing authority in the area, and it took maybe, I want to say, like a month or maybe 6 weeks or so for the house to pass inspection. Which, you know what, in the long run, now that I think about it, it's good that I went that route, because obviously there were things that needed to be fixed in the house. There are things that needed to be updated and upgraded in the house. So it's better that I went that route and had someone from the outside doing all these inspections and getting those things fixed than me renting out to a regular, in quotes, renter, and having these things that needed to be upgraded or to be fixed, right? So, you know, in the long run, I'm actually not mad that I went the Section 8 route. Anyway, it took a few weeks to get all of the pieces together. It took a little bit of time to get the house to pass inspection. So when the house finally passed inspection, a um, we had an applicant who had been on standby to rent the house. I didn't know her personally. I actually never really had any one-on-one conversations with her. It was someone else I knew that had the communication with her, but it's not like they knew each other personally either. But anyway, I rented the house out to this person, and well, first of all, before I get into her as my renter, going the Section 8 route was not profitable for me. And this is why. The housing authority in the area, they have their they have their thresholds, their rent thresholds that they'll pay based on the number of bedrooms and based on the area. Because my house is a two-bedroom house and it's in the area where it is, they could only cover up to a certain amount of money per month for rent. And so while that amount covered the mortgage, it didn't cover the HOA fees at the house. And my property, the area where it's in, the HOA fees are pretty high and they're monthly as well. I know of like other places where like the HOA is maybe quarterly or every 6 months or something, but mine is every month. And so because of those HOA fees, and also because I decided out of my own goodwill, nobody forced me or anything, I was paying for pest control in the house as well. And then also I cover sanitation in the house. So at the end of the day, the amount of money that I was making from rent, it wasn't enough to cover all of the house expenses, which at this point, I'm not even counting like the repairs that I needed to do. So at the end of the day, I really didn't make any money from my first year of landlordship. Now, let's go to the renter. Again, it's not like any of us knew her from anywhere, as is typical. I'm not sure that we did a proper background check. We definitely didn't also like check references and things like that. And that was a mistake on my own part, because this lady, once she moved in, and I think the reason why the person that helped me to find her, she's a single mom just like I am. She has two daughters. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's a woman just like me with her two daughters. She's definitely going to help to take care of the house and make sure that the house is in tip-top shape and all of that. But this lady did not communicate at all. At all. The whole entire, she wasn't in the house up to a year, and I'll explain why later. But she wasn't communicating. I would call, she wouldn't answer any of my calls. The only time she would answer would be if I blocked my number, so she wouldn't see which number was calling her. Text messages went unanswered. So that was quite frustrating throughout the whole time. But you know what? For me, I'm like, whatever, fine. I don't like stress. She probably doesn't want any stress either. I'm not trying to go and do inspections at the house like every other month. I mean, there are some landlords that do that. They go for inspections. I didn't really want to do it. I think if that's your thing, then yeah, I think it's actually good practice, Sha. Let me think about it. I think it's probably good practice, and it's probably something I should be doing going forward. But anyways, Aisha didn't. But 8 or 9 months into the lease, so we had signed a 1-year lease. 8 or 9 months into the lease agreement, I got a letter from the housing authority that the lease was being broken because the woman had violated their terms and they were kicking her off of the program. I don't know what she did. I didn't ask. By that point, I was like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Let me make sure that at least I can get the house inspected before she leaves. I tell you, For 2 to 3 weeks, this woman was posting me. Like, no answer. Oh, I traveled. Oh, I'm not around. Oh, I'm not in the house right now. Oh, this and oh, that and oh, that. And I felt some type of way. I didn't want to go into the house without her being present because, number one, I feel like I'm not trying to invade your privacy. Yes, it's my house, but you also live there. I'm not trying to invade your privacy. Um, but also, if there anything that is wrong with the house, I need you there present so that we can, two of us are using our two korokoro eyes to look, right? So I can say, this is wrong, this is bad, this needs to be whatever, so that we are in agreement at the end of the day about who needs to pay for what, for any damage or anything like that, right? But chick just was never, she didn't answer or anything. The day that she finally agreed for us to meet at the house, I am not joking. I got to the house and she had driven off. She was like, oh yeah, the key is under the mat. So when I tell you, I didn't see this woman one time the whole entire year. It's not as if I had a property manager or anything. I didn't see her one time from beginning to end. She left before I could get it. She told me to come at so time. I said, okay, yeah, I'll meet you there at this time. I got there, she wasn't there. She had driven off, key was under the mat. Anyway, Asha went inside. The house was not too bad. There was a big stain on the carpet that, I eventually had to get taken care of by a carpet cleaner. The Should I say the house wasn't too bad? Okay, no, there were things. There was a hole in the floor in the bedroom, in the master bedroom. There was a hole in the floor. And obviously water had gotten in, and so there was leakage from the top floor to the bottom that she had never told me about. So by the time I got someone to go in there, a contractor, to go in there and look at everything, there was mold. So I had to treat the house for mold, and then I had to also get the floor replaced, like that section replaced in the house. Let me not talk to you about the refrigerator. We opened it, and from top to bottom, both sides, the fridge side and the freezer side, full of what looked like dead insects. I'm going to show you a picture now, so take a look. Look at this. Like, same thing here. Like, definitely, this thing has not been used in months. Oh. Right. Yes. What you saw in the picture, I eventually had Pest Control come, and the guy said it looked like they were dead fly maggots from top to bottom. I don't know how managed. Like, was she not using the fridge? I'm confused. I don't know. Nobody knows how the fridge could have gotten to that state. Nobody knows. Is it that she turned off the electricity? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But because of the state of the fridge, I wasn't going to get it cleaned out. I needed it thrown away. I had to go buy a whole entire new refrigerator because there was no way I was going to let my next tenant live in that house with that kind of fridge, whether it's cleaned out or not. No. So I had to go buy a brand new refrigerator, which I was able to get, thankfully, I got it from American Freight, not sponsored, but I got it from American Freight. They do, like, if you're looking for cheaper products. Sometimes they might be secondhand, or like they might have a dent or a scratch or something here and there. The one that I bought wasn't too bad. But anyway, that's besides the point. So Chick eventually left. Well, she had left before I got there. I bought a new fridge and I had to get the whole house cleaned again, of course, and updated again for a new tenant. Um, let's see. So she moved out in November, and then in December, at the end of December, I listed the house on Zillow again to look for a renter. And thankfully, thank God, I got someone within 2 days. This one, so definitely, I wasn't going through the Section 8 route anymore. I'm making it a little bit, well, hold on. I want to say I'm making it a little bit more money now, but there are still things that I've needed to fix and repair in the house and upgrade a little bit. So I'm still in the red. I'm still in the red regarding, the house and making money and everything. And honestly, if anyone, I don't know, maybe I just didn't do my research. Yeah, I think I just didn't do research. I think maybe I should have done, like, should have checked on YouTube for, tips for landlords, or like joined like a landlord, I don't know, group or something on Facebook to like get tips and to hear people's experiences and everything, because half of the things like I just didn't know. For some reason, you hear a lot of people talking about, oh, you need to get into real estate, you need to get into real estate to make money. What they don't tell you is that you need multiple properties in order to make a sizable income, right? Because even as it is now, yes, I have a regular renter. Yes, I was able to increase the rent a very tiny bit. The money is really not all that substantial. It's really, really not at the end of the day. It's something though, so I'm thankful for it. But it's not like the amount of money that a lot of like real estate people seem to talk about on social media. It's really not like that. It took actually a neighbor of mine. They have a rental as well, and she was telling me that, oh, if you're making like $100 a month or like 200 a month, then you're fine. That's when I was like, wait, for real? So all these people on social media, what are they talking like thousands of money and all of this? And anyway, um, where was I going with this? So yeah, there's that. Then also, when my property tax bill came, my property tax bill came, I believe it was like August or September, and then October. It was the federal tax and then the state tax. No, it was state tax, state property tax, and then city tax or something like that. Shout, when the taxes came, like I almost freaked out because I'm like, wait, where am I supposed to get this money from? I haven't made any money on the house. But thankfully, my mortgage covers the property taxes. So that was something that I'm very happy that I did. I ask for, or they just automatically put it in our mortgage agreement. I don't know, but it's shared there. So that covers that. What else? What else do I want to talk about? Okay, so the renters that are in there now, they are a godsend. They almost seem too perfect. And because of my past experience with the previous renter, I have a little bit of, I don't know if it's PTSD, I should say, or a little bit of like, you people, what's wrong with you? Not to say that, you know, I have a negative outlook, but based on past experience, it's just like, which drama are we going to have now? But there hasn't been any. They have been so good. They have been so, like, I actually pray for them, you know, when I'm doing my prayer time. And when they text back and forth, because there's like one issue in the house or this little thing in the house or they need this upgraded or can we talk about this or whatever, whatever. It's always Thank you so much. You're a blessing. God bless you and everything. And it's just like, wow. And they actually asked for like a 2 year lease instead of 1 year lease. So, so far, I mean, it's only been 2 months, but so far, so I won't even say so good, but so far, so amazing. Yes, I've had to spend more money on repairs and things, but I have some peace of mind about these people and that they will make sure the house is taken care of, right? Um, there's something else I wanted to talk about. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So yeah, I didn't make any money from the first year of renting. Okay, so something that I'm doing now, at least going forward, is I'm trying to save as much of the rental income as I can and use my own personal income to pay for the mortgage, to cover the mortgage. Because I essentially what I'm trying to do is have an emergency fund for the house so that in the case of any issues, repairs, upgrades, whatever, there's already money stashed on the side. So, yes, during the month, things are a little bit, I won't say that they're hard, but I don't have as much wiggle room to spend my money because I'm trying to save for any emergencies or to save for long-term plans. Like I think I've mentioned in past videos that I'd like to change the flooring in the house from carpet to vinyl flooring and just other little things like that. I want to change the stove eventually, maybe do the cabinets at some point. I don't know, but I'm trying to make sure that I have enough money on the side for any big or any major repairs that need to be done just in case. So there's that. Um, I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. My advice to anyone who is trying to buy their first house or trying to become a landlord, landlady, what have you, I would say definitely do your research, do a lot of research, talk to as many people as you can have been, who are homeowners or who have, um, or who are landlords. My best friend in Canada, you know what? He actually was giving me advice so here and there. Half of me was just like, yeah, okay, that one is my fault. See, anything that went wrong in my first year of landlordship is on me. I'm not even going to pretend it's on me. I should have done my research. I should have listened. I should have, taken all the advice and everything. I didn't. But going forward, I'm learning from my mistakes, and that's what's important, right? I do want to talk about um property managers. I had someone reach out to me about, she owns a property management firm here in Atlanta. And for a quick second, honestly, I considered that prospect because I really don't like stress, right? I just want, see, yeah, you've handled all the things like, yeah, handle the rental, handle finding a renter, handle, getting the house fixed or whatever. And then they take a percentage of the rent, right? Um, I thought about that, but I have just one house. The house is really not that far from where I currently live. So I think at the end of the day, it just didn't make enough sense to go that route of getting a property manager. Now, it's a different case if I had like two, three houses and houses that are, spaced apart, where I know that I cannot definitely manage the day to day or month to month or week to week or whatever of the housing. Then, yes, I can think about getting a property manager. But for now, I've just chosen not to go that route of getting a property manager. What else? What else? What else? I feel like there's something else I wanted to say. So yeah, if you're thinking about buying a house and becoming a landlord, I'll definitely say just do your research. Look at home ownership in whatever city or state that you're in. Look at what rent is like, because you need to know, that you're going to be able to cover all the things, right? Um, Talk to maybe people in the neighborhood where you're buying a house. Talk to people who are landlords, so you can get some information from them, so you can get some advice from them as well. And just do see, at the end of the day, the main thing really is just do your research. Do your research, okay? And I think that you should be fine for the most part. Yes, there will be people, renters, who will be just very, very challenging. We pray not to have those kinds of people to have, challenging renters. But yeah, so that's what renting a house, or rather, that's what renting out my house was like for the first year. I am praying for a much better and successful year in this year 2 and 3, since again they signed a 2-year lease. And yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Peace out.